Hi everyone. Have you ever had a big dream, something you wanted so badly, but didn't know where to start? Maybe you've tried, failed, or just felt stuck. Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, I'm going to tell you a beautiful and emotional story. Not just any story. This one shows how real people, in a modern world full of distractions and doubts, found a way to turn their dreams into reality using something powerful and simple: smart goals. So grab a seat, open your heart, and let this story guide you. It might just be the spark you need to start your own journey toward success. In a land not marked on any map, beyond the rolling hills and misty forests, there lay the Valley of Aspirations. The people of this valley lived in colorful homes built of stone and wood, yet many carried quiet worries in their hearts. They dreamed of great things. Some longed to build tall towers that touched the sky. Others yearned to compose melodies that would make the world weep with joy. And a few hoped simply to live each day with a calm and steady mind. But despite their dreams, most felt lost, unsure how to turn hopes into reality. At the heart of the valley stood the Tower of Light, a grand structure of white marble that shimmered in the sun. It was said that anyone who reached its summit would find the secret to success. Many tried, but most gave up long before the top. Their steps faltered on the winding staircases, or they lost their way in the tower's many halls. For years, scholars and seekers studied ancient texts, hoping to uncover a hidden path. Yet the mystery remained unsolved until one season of dawns and dusks when a stranger arrived. No one knew where she came from. She walked into the valley at twilight, wrapped in a deep blue cloak, and carried only a small satchel at her side. She looked neither rich nor poor, old nor young, and her eyes held a gentle light. She called herself Mira, which in the tongue of distant lands meant wonder. Word of her arrival spread quickly, for she spoke of something new, a simple way to climb the Tower of Light and reach one's dreams. At the market square, beneath lanterns that glowed like fireflies, she spoke to a crowd of curious villagers. The secret to success, she said, lies not in magic, not in luck, but in the way we shape our wants into clear steps. I call this the way of smart, for each letter guides us like a star in the night sky. The villagers leaned forward eager. S-M-A-R-T, they repeated, as if tasting a sweet flavor. Mira smiled and began to explain. S stands for specific, she said, drawing a single chalk line on a wooden board. A goal must be sharp, like an arrow's point. Not, I want to be better, but I want to learn how to weave a basket of willow by midsummer. When you name exactly what you desire, the mind finds a clear picture to pursue. M is for measurable, she continued, drawing another line. We must know how to count our steps. If you say, I will weave one basket each week, then every week you see your progress. Each basket becomes proof that you are moving forward. A is achievable, she said, pausing so her listeners could feel the weight of the word. A goal must lie within your reach, though it may challenge you. If you're a beginner in weaving, aiming to craft 100 baskets in a month may break your spirit. But scheduling one basket per week makes the task possible and kind to your time. R stands for relevant, Mira went on, her voice soft but sure. Your goal must matter to you. If you set a goal that does not touch your heart, your efforts will feel hollow. Ask yourself, why does this matter? How will this goal bring meaning to my life? Only then do you find the motivation to keep going. And T is for time-bound, she finished. Every goal needs a deadline, a moment when you say, I will have this done by then. Without a time, days drift away like clouds. A clear end date lights a fire in your mind. By the first full moon of autumn, I will present my basket to the seasonal festival. With these 5 steps, Mira invited the villagers to follow her to the Tower of Light. A small group gathered. A young baker named Lina, a quiet shepherd called Tomas, a lively artist named Selene, and an elder farmer, Master Orion. Each carried a dream. Lina wished to create a new kind of bread that spoke of her grandmother's recipes. Tomas longed to map new pastures for his sheep. Selene dreamed of painting a mural on the tower's walls. Master Orion yearned to bring fresh water from a hidden spring to his thirsty fields. On the path to the tower, Mira asked each to share a goal, guiding them through the smart steps. Lina spoke first. I want to bake a loaf that captures my grandmother's sweet cinnamon and honey recipe. Mira asked, is this specific enough? Lina nodded. They refined her aim to, by the harvest festival in 6 weeks, I will bake and sell at least 50 loaves of cinnamon honey bread, using a trial batch every weekend to improve my recipe. Lina's eyes brightened. Now her goal felt alive. Next came Tomas. He said, I wish to find greener pastures for my flock. Mira guided him. By the start of spring, I will survey 3 new valleys, mapping safe routes for grazing, and report my findings to the Shepherd's Council. Tomas tightened his jaw in determination. He saw himself climbing hills with his sheep beneath clear blue skies. Selene stepped forward. I want to paint something grand on the tower's south wall. Mira asked, what will you paint, and how will you measure success? Selene thought, I will paint a mural of the valley's seasons. Spring blossoms, summer sun, autumn leaves, and winter snow, covering 5 panels of the wall. I will complete 1 panel each month, using sketches and color tests to track my progress. Selene smiled. The mural already danced in her mind. Lastly, Master Orion spoke of the hidden spring beyond the ridge. Mira asked, how will you bring the water here, and by when? Master Orion, with his weathered hands, outlined a plan. By the first rainfall of next year, I will dig a 3-mile channel, resting on weekends, to bring spring water to my fields. I will measure each furlong of dug channel, and by winter solstice, every furlong must be finished, so I can complete the last stretch with the rains. He lowered his head, firm in resolve. With goals written in their hearts, the 5 companions ascended the winding path to the tower's base. The massive doors loomed above them, carved with runes that spoke of old legends and hidden tests. As they placed their hands on the door, it opened without sound, revealing a dark hallway lit by glowing crystals. The first chamber awaited. Inside, the travelers found 5 pedestals, each bearing a shape: a sword, a scale, a wheel, a paintbrush, and a fountain. A voice echoed, gentle as wind in the leaves. Only those whose goals are truly smart may pass. The companions exchanged glances, each recalling the precise words they had spoken. Lina approached the loaf-shaped pedestal and placed her goal statement on it. The sword vibrated softly, and a corridor opened. Next, Tomas laid his parchment on the scale pedestal. The scales balanced, and another door shone open. Selene's mural plan sat on the wheel-shaped stand. A hidden panel slid aside. Finally, Master Orion's water plan met the fountain pedestal's gaze, and water gushed for a moment before revealing its passage. They marched forward together, walls narrowing until they entered a grand chamber with a spiral staircase reaching to a distant light. Along the stairs, each step bore an inscription. Plan with care. Track each move. Seek what matters. Honor your time. Rise with resolve. As they climbed, doubts swirled like mist. Lina worried that customers might reject her bread. Tomas feared the valleys might be too steep for his flock. Selene worried the tower's keepers would forbid her painting. Master Orion worried the channel might collapse. At each doubt, Mira spoke kindly. Remember your smart path. Each fear is a chance to refine your plan. They pressed on. Halfway up, they came to a resting ledge under a sky-like dome. The view stretched across the valley, golden and green under afternoon sun. Mira invited them to pause and reflect. Success is not only reaching the top, she told them, but learning what you can carry on the way. Each step tests your plan. They shared stories. Lina discovered that weekend customers liked her bread best when she added a sprinkle of salt. She adjusted her recipe to include fine sea salt, making the bread richer. Tomas found that wild berries grew on one slope. Adding them to sheep feed made the flock healthier. Selene realized her first panel sketch didn't flow into the second, so she redrew her outline, blending colors more softly. Master Orion learned that the rocky soil slowed his digging. He asked neighbors for help and traded vegetables for extra hands. Refreshed by reflection, they resumed climbing. As dusk fell, the staircase grew steeper and narrower. Cold air whispered around them. They reached the final stretch, a spiral so tight it felt like turning inside a seashell. Each step strained the legs. Doubt weighed again on their minds, heavier than before. At the very top, the staircase ended at an opening. A soft light beckoned. One by one, they stepped through and found themselves on a circular balcony, overlooking the valley under the silver moon. In the center of the balcony stood a crystalline pedestal, empty. The wind carried the scent of night flowers. A hush fell, and the ancient voice spoke again. Place upon this pedestal the evidence of your journey. The travelers looked at each other. In that moment, they understood. They had already carried their evidence, their sharpened goals, their progress, their adjustments under pressure, and their resilience. Lina took out a small loaf, warm from the day's bake, and set it on the pedestal. Tomas placed a finished map of lush pastures. Selene laid down a scroll of her final mural sketch. Master Orion set a small wooden rod, carved with marks, showing each furlong dug. The pedestal glowed, and a beam of light shot upward, piercing the night sky like a joyful song. The tower trembled softly, its white marble glowing under moonlight and starlight. Then the voice spoke. Your success is born of clear aim, steady steps, and relevance to your heart. You have climbed not by chance, but by design. Remember this path and share it with others. As the light faded, the travelers felt a warmth in their chests, a sense of true accomplishment. In the days that followed, the five returned to the village as storytellers. Lina's bakery thrived. Her cinnamon honey loaves became a festival favorite. Tomas's sheep produced the finest wool, and his new pastures flourished. Selene's mural covered the south wall of the tower, a testament to seasons and dreams. Master Orion's water channel nourished fields more plentiful than ever, and Mira, the stranger in the blue cloak, smiled as she watched them share the smart path with others, guiding friends, neighbors, and relatives. Soon, the entire Valley of Aspirations buzzed with purpose. People wrote down clear goals, the blacksmith aiming to forge shining armor by winter, the school teacher hoping to inspire 20 students to read a new book each month, the weaver planning to create 10 scarves for the winter market. Each goal followed the SMART pattern: specific aim, measurable steps, an achievable plan, relevance to one's heart, and a time-bound deadline. Years passed, and the Tower of Light stood as a symbol not of distant mystery, but of a living method. Its steps no longer tested strength alone, but measured one's clarity of purpose. The valley prospered, Fields yielded richer harvests, songs filled the air, and children played in streets lit by lanterns of hope. And Mira, one dawn, as the first light touched the valley's rooftops, she slipped quietly away, leaving behind a simple note on the tower's gate. Success is not a secret hidden in ancient stones, but a journey shaped by clear steps. May every heart here find its own smart path and climb beyond the clouds. No one saw her leave, but her lesson stayed. Whenever someone felt lost again, they would come to the tower, remember the 5 letters, and shape their dreams into living plans. In the Valley of Aspirations, success became not a fleeting spark, but a steady flame, fed by specific dreams, measured steps, achievable effort, personal meaning, and the gentle push of time. And so, the valley lived on, a place where every dawn brought not only sunlight, but the promise that with smart goals, even the loftiest dream could find a clear path, a steady climb, and, at last, the sweet reward of reaching the summit.